Hi y'all, it's Neva from Manic Mama Musings, and it's Monday, so it's Mental Health Monday, and shame on me because I slept through my counseling appointment. I could not wake up for the life of me. I don't know if my body's fighting something off or what. I mean, I don't sleep good at night, so yes, I catch up on sleep in the day, but see, I'm tired, and I slept enough today. Y'all saw me last night. I was tired enough to be yawning on video, but then when it came to laying down, forget it. So today's Mental Health Monday. I love seasonal coffee. Just letting y'all know. Seasonal coffee and teas are my jam. And I do have a big box still. I have quite a few left of my fall flavors I got. Because I got Harvest. One was Harvest and one was Fall, I think. From Big Lots. Big boxes of the little K-Cups. But, so yesterday when we were at Walmart, I got me some peppermint bark coffee because, you know, it's headed towards December. And so that was the only, they did have a sugar cookie one and another one, but I had to decide which one, and I decided on this one. And so that's what's in my cup. And my cup was from my beautiful friend, Rebecca from Fabergé Crochet. I'll link her channel down below if you've never watched her. She's amazing. She makes the coolest amigurumis. So, but that's what I'm drinking. I know it's nighttime, but I slept all day, and I did not do my crocheting like I was going to you know, put in the basket. And today's still the 15th, so I said I had till the 15th. So I'm going to crochet as much as I can tonight and then go to sleep, but that's to wake me up. I'm making my first pair of mittens, like complete mittens, thumb and all, fingers crossed, because I tried to make one before, and it didn't come out right. So I'm hoping this time it does. But it's Mental Health Monday. I'm going to link a video below by from Kati Morton, and she talks about PTSD and stuff, because today I'm going to talk about PTSD, but the title of hers is Why Am I Afraid to Be Happy? Sorry, I have it on my TV right now, and a lot of people with PTSD can relate to this video, and it's a good video. I needed to hear it today. I've been afraid. I'm so sorry, guys. No more drinking my coffee while I'm talking. I have needed to be... Quite often, I'm afraid to be happy because, well, she'll talk about it in there, but you're waiting for the next shoe to fall. Like, okay, everything is wonderful. And I've told LJ that, like, okay, so when I got pregnant with my daughter, my oldest daughter, it wasn't planned. But eventually I was looking forward to the birth of my daughter. Like, you know, it wasn't the best circumstances, but and then we found out my dad was dying. And then when she was 10 months old, he died. And then I was working all the time and stuff, and I ended up pregnant again. And this time there was 2 of them. And once again, not planned. Excuse me, but I love my kids. And it was wonderful when they were born. Once Rosario was, you know, okay, because she had problems during birth. But then my bipolar went completely haywire, and by the time they were 5, I think, I had been in 3 mental hospitals. So, and then some other really bad stuff happened. That was the 3rd time I had gone. And neither one of my marriages worked out. That was bad choices on my part, but I take part responsibility. They weren't good people, but I didn't love myself enough to want someone who really loved me, I don't think. So, so, you know, and then my mom was my best friend. I think you guys know that. And then I met LJ, and he became my other best friend. Couldn't ask for a better person, y'all. He's wonderful. But I was so happy in that moment. And then my mom died. And I told him, I'm jinxed. It seems like every time something happens and I'm very happy, something really bad happens. I know this happens to everybody. It's not just me, and it's not that I'm jinxed. But that's how my brain thinks of things sometimes. And now I'm so happy with him. But sometimes I get real grumpy with him and I think I'm trying to sabotage myself. Like I feel like I don't deserve to be happy. Or if I'm the one that causes my sorrow, then it won't hurt as bad when everything falls apart. Does that make sense? So this video deals with that. So that's my little story pertaining to this video that this woman does. And I really think for anyone that deals with PTSD, it is a really wonderful, I'm sorry, my nose itches, y'all, really wonderful video to watch. But I wanted to point out, because we just got done with Veterans Day a while back, that PTSD is not just for soldiers coming back from war, okay? A lot of people do not realize that or won't accept it. And I even had one military guy, I had one military guy tell me that there was no such thing as PTSD, that he had been to war and he was just fine. But I want to point out that for one, he was a computer guy, so he wasn't right there on the front lines. And he also over-medicated himself with painkillers. I'm not saying that judgmentally. I'm saying he self-medicated himself. I don't know what it's like to be behind a computer and witness war. I don't know. But that was his thing. And just because it didn't traumatize him doesn't mean it's not going to traumatize. Everybody's brain deals with trauma different. Some people's breaks. Some people, they're fine. And then I was talking about some children I knew that had had some horrific things done to them and how they were dealing with PTSD. And then that I myself dealt with PTSD from abusive relationships and how volatile my dad was growing up. And this other person, this is a different one, this man said that no, that you don't get PTSD from childhood trauma or from, because I've been raped as an adult, okay, or from rape or domestic violence, which I have had done to me, that it's people. Why was I taking from the people who are in war? I'm not. It is a medical diagnosis, PTSD. Okay, and it is when trauma has happened and it interrupts something in your brain. And as a child, when you have something terribly traumatic happen, you witness things that are scarier than your little brain can comprehend. A lot of times it kind of, let's say it bruises your brain, because I don't really know how to put it. I'm not a medical professional, but it does damage to your brain. And some people heal from it even without counseling and they're just fine. Then there's those people that they are having trouble, they get help and they move on and they're fine. And then there's those people who they're never going to be okay. They're going to need counseling and they're going to have problems for the rest of their life. Nobody's brain is exactly the same. That's why we have different medicines for heart disease and diabetes, because not everybody responds to the same kind of treatment. Well, it's the same for psychological. So, I suffer from PTSD. I have been in some domestic violence situations where I was abused terribly. My dad was not physically abusive, but he was very, very emotionally abusive. And I saw him physically abuse my mom. I have been raped more than once. And I'm so happy to say now that I trust LJ. But I really didn't know if I was ever going to completely trust a man. In fact, I don't even know if I knew what trust was for the majority of my life. Like, it feels weird to feel safe with him because I don't think I've ever felt 100% safe throughout my life. But I do with him. Now, the outside world, I'm not going to lie, once I get out of this house, my anxiety kicks in. That's part of the PTSD. No, I was not in war, and I don't want to take away from anyone who has witnessed, has been in war. By no means, because that is as real as anything else. And it is sad that we have men who have gone and fought for our country and come back, and they're not the same. They cannot be the same person for their family that, you know, knew them pre-war. It's very sad. It is sad that children who their life would have been one way, but something truly horrifying happens to them as a child. And I know some girls, okay? I knew their parents, and their dad was in prison all the time. Their mom, and he was a drug addict, and their mom was a drug addict. The dad was always in prison, and the mom prostituted them for drugs as little girls. And I'm not so sure the young man wasn't also. All three of them are in and out of prison. One little girl, I don't know if she'll ever know how to love herself. I have fed her before. One time I was on my way to church when I was very good about going to church. I stopped and I was like, "Can I take you to church with me?" And she was, and I could tell she'd been out doing whatever, because it was morning time. She's walking home, kind of the walk of shame kind of thing, or walking to wherever, and looking kind of rough. And she said, "Miss Neva, I'm not dressed to go to church." And I was like, "If anyone looks at you funny, they'll have me to deal with. God doesn't care what you're dressed like." She wouldn't go with me, and I cried. The other daughter, she called me one time, and her dad had gotten out of prison and gone to visit her mom. Now, they're all grown, by the way. I had gone to visit, and she calls me and she goes, "Can you come and get me at my mom's, because my dad's here and he wants me to score him dope, and I'm trying to stay clean to get my kids back." And I was like, "I can't be around your dad." I actually had dated her dad when I was very young, and there is a lot of trauma that goes along with that. And so I was like, I can't. If you can walk a couple blocks down, I'll pick you up, but I'm not going anywhere where I might see him. I can't. They're not letting me out of the house. And I was like, "Then I don't know what to tell you. Would you like me to call the police?" Well, of course, she didn't want that either. So I was stuck. I didn't know what to do, but I didn't go because I had kids to think about, and her dad is very scary. So I didn't go, and I never heard from her again. And I don't know how she's doing now. But those poor kids didn't have much of a chance in life, did they? And to me, you can't tell me that they don't get, there's no way they don't end up with PTSD when their mom's pimping them out, you know? So that being said, there's therapy for PTSD. I do EMDR, which I don't know what all those letters stand for. I always forget. Eye movement rapid. I don't know. You can Google EMDR and it'll tell you what all those mean. But essentially, okay, I started out doing the pulsers, which is I kept them in each hand and they rotate, like they buzz one hand, buzz the other hand, okay? And at first I really thought my therapist was just, okay, this is some hocus pocus. And I was like, nah. And I tried it, but I didn't think it was going to work. And we would start out talking about one thing and always end up talking almost every time at first about the same thing in the end. And so I was like, wow, I didn't realize I felt that way. I don't know what it is and how it does it, but it brings up stuff that, and you can talk about it without, because I don't know, I mean, you guys can share in comments if you want. If a subject that I am uneasy about talking about, when it comes up, I get anxious and panicky. And when I get that way, I get angry and mean. I shouldn't. I should try to accept and talk about stuff, but I just have a really hard time. So I thought that's the way it would be, but I would actually like go in with a headache. And once I talked through some things and got to what was probably causing that at the moment, I felt better and my headache was gone. So then we tried to go to the eye one, which is where you don't move your head and you move your eyes back and forth following a light bar. But I couldn't do that because I'm prone to migraines and it just really messed with me, gave me a lot of pain. And so I couldn't do that. So I do the EMDR. I've not done it since lockdown. My therapist does go in on Fridays because it's a group of them and they take days. Each day one of them goes in, each different day, and then I see him on video other days. And so I really need to get back to EMDR because I really don't like leaving my house. Like, I finally feel safe, at least in my own space and with someone, and I feel safe with my kids. But other than that, like the birthday party, I think I talked about it yesterday, like I didn't really pay attention to anybody and I wasn't trying to be rude at the birthday party, but I have trouble meeting new people and not feeling scared to death when I shake someone's hand. And so I just looked at my phone and acted busy so I didn't have to meet new people. And that's not good. It's not good, but it has to do with my PTSD and my anxiety of awkward situations. The store, I can go by myself, but probably about halfway through, if I'm by myself, I feel like I'm going to pass out. You know, so I need to get back to my EMDR just for mental wellness and whatnot. Sorry, babe.
Okay.
But there are more people than you would realize that suffer from PTSD. Some people, they hold it together like a champ. Some of them are covering up and they go home and probably cry every day. Then there's some people who really, like, they've moved on and they're okay. And I'm happy for those people. Like, I really am. Because I want to be that person someday. And then there's those people that I don't know if they'll ever be okay. But if they keep trying to get help and stuff, they can make it through. I had a talk with somebody today who I believe she suffers from PTSD. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't diagnose anybody. Her and I had a lengthy talk. And she was asking me about my therapy, and she was like, so you see a man therapist? And I was like, yeah, I didn't think I'd ever feel comfortable with a man like that, but I do. Like, I can tell him everything. She was so surprised because she's tried therapy with women, and I was like, I'm not telling you that he's the end all, like, whatever, but, you know, if those two didn't work, don't quit trying. You know, keep looking, because there will end up being a fit that works for you. And whether it be a man or a woman, don't count a man therapist out, you know, like, because you think that a man can't understand, because some men understand more than we think they do. So I am going to link this video because it is wonderful. And I used to think I was the only one that ever felt that way. And now I know that I'm not. But I found this video today and I thought that's perfect because I was actually going to talk about PTSD today. So I'm going to link that below. Like I said, her name is Kati Morton. It's Why Am I Afraid to Be Happy? Now, she says a few cuss words. So if you don't like cuss words, don't watch it. It's not like filled with them, but there's a few that get dropped. But she's real. I like her videos. And so I thought you might enjoy that. If you ever need to talk to somebody, my email is always below. I also would like you to email me. I know someone who could use some cheering up, but I don't want to talk about it on video in case they watch me. And so if you would like to be a part of cheering somebody up or like sending some love, email me and I will let you know the details. Because, you know, that's part of Mental Health Monday. That's part of mental health, is reaching out to people and helping them, especially when you're feeling bad. That's when you should be even more compassionate and think, you know what, I need to help somebody else, because the way I'm feeling, you never know when it could come back to you. I truly believe in karma. What you give out in this world, you will get back. It may not be right now. It may not be 5 years from now, but it will come back to you in one way or another. It will come back. I feel the same way about ugly. If you are ugly and gross to people, I see some people and think, when is karma going to get them? But I do know that it's going to come back to them. I've had proof in my life. Maybe someday I will talk about a little bit of that. But so have a good night. Have a wonderful week, because it's Monday, y'all. And I will probably see you either later or in the morning with my FOs, because I am putting them in the basket tomorrow. So, mwah.